Hi, friends. In our time together today, I'm introducing the Snap-on Tone Hole Key by Takahe Flutes. I'll show it to you. I'll demonstrate using it and let you know how you can pick one up. Let you know what I think and ask you what you think. Because I know some of you have one or have some other things from Takahe Flutes. Becoming accustomed, set that down for a moment. Becoming accustomed to the piper's grip on the lower hand in particular, and for some people on the upper hand, is not an easy challenge. It can be quite difficult, particularly if you have any arthritis or you have damage to one of your fingers and that stretch is difficult. And I know that the majority of people are able to make the stretch and do so in a wide variety of ways, depending upon what grip is most comfortable for them. And we've talked about that. We've talked about hand stretches together, and to be honest, hand stretches are good whether you're doing it for a whistle or just life in general. You're going to turn 70 one day or older than that, and you need to make sure your hands are okay. Take care of your body will take care of you. So, as I said in the hand exercise thing, motion is lotion, as a friend let me know. So, now people overcome the need for close finger spacing in a variety of ways, which is quite clever. I've introduced whistles that provide close finger spacing, the carbony being the chief of those. And it's brilliant. And that solutions like the carbony and other solutions aren't just for people who have a challenge with that grip. It makes playing a low whistle as though you're playing an alto or even a high whistle, depending upon how it feels to you. It just makes playing easy and effortless, and also provides its own wonderful tune. So that's one solution. Another solution is folks who provide an add-on key that can come with the whistle, like the key, the attached key that Howard provides, or you could get a key attached by the folks at Susato. Now, at Susato and at Howard, you can't order the key and have it attached to your own whistle. They have to do it, and it comes that way. But those are not the least expensive solutions. This snap-on key from John Laurence, who is Takahe Flutes in New Zealand. He has developed this, and it is an absolutely inventive solution. So this is designed, and this is important for you to know, this is designed to fit a whistle that has an outside diameter between 25 and 28 millimeters. You snap it on and you use it. And it's not, I'm going to show it to you on the lowest tone hole, but it's not limited to the lowest tone hole. I'll put links to a couple of John's sites, his Etsy store and also his website, so that you could see, he'll demonstrate having this key in a couple of different places. So the key, snap-on key itself, is made quite cleverly by PVC. And then there's a little molded to the curve of a tube, 25 to 28 millimeters. Very clever. And then it has suede and felt attached to it. And so that's really good. And then there's like a suede pad there. So the PVC is not going to hurt your whistle, but just to make sure it seats well, and the grip is greeted with a pad that secures it a little better, that sits very firmly in place. I'm real happy with that. But I think it's the important thing is not how clever is this. The important thing is, does it work? And so that's what I want to do. Before I tell you how much it costs, how to pick one up, let's see how it works. Because after all, that's the only reason you'd buy something like this, unless you want like a novelty conversation piece. So let's try and attach it to, I've got the Nightingale by Karavev, and see, it has you really need piper's grip for that 5th to 6th, and that's where I'm going to put it, on the 6th hole, just to see how that works. So let's try that out. Now first, I do want to say again, and I'll say it again at the end, if you have one of these snap-on keys from Takahe Flutes, please, I and our entire community are asking you to comment in the notes to this video. What do you think of it? Has it been helpful? I haven't had this long at all, so I don't know. I've not cycle tested it, by using it for a long time. How does it live over time? What do you think of it? Please, please, please comment in the notes. Also, if you have some of the instruments that John makes, that Takahe Flutes provides, I'd love to hear about that, because he's got some clever stuff. So comment on that as well, because I know, because we've had these conversations, some of us, and I'd love for you to just share your thoughts and your experience with the whole community. All right, so let's take this and snap it on. So the snap-on key that makes it easier to play by Takahe Flutes onto the Nightingale by Karavev. So I'm just going to snap it on there. All right, that was easy. Now you want to put it in place, so you're trying to get it so that little pushy down key, the key, is actually in line with the rest of the keys. That's really important, because you've got to cover the hole properly. Remember that little circular base foot that the suede pad is on is curved and is intended to cover the hole. So you've got to make sure it covers the hole. So try and center it. Then I'm aligning it up, trying to center it again. And again, this is one of those, you don't have to get too worried about it, but it does have to cover that hole. Now, one of the things I notice right away is that if you're not careful, when you push that down, it might leave part of the hole open. So you've got to make sure you're actually completely covering the hole, or you're setting the key up to half hole, and then it'll never be in tune. So I've got that on. So look at that. Isn't that clever? So my fingers then on my bottom hand can do that. Okay? That again is more like playing an alto whistle, and I don't have to worry about finger stretching. And yes, you could use it on the other hand, but a lot depends upon the distance between the keys as to where that would fit. Let me try that. Can I cover the 3rd hole? Because you could get 2 of these or more. All right, let me go up. Maybe I should have snapped it off. Yep, let's do that. I don't want to hurt it. But if it gets hurt, then it's not going to last. Yeah. See, it's not really going to cover the 3rd hole without blocking the 4th. That's on this whistle. So bear that in mind. A lot depends on the whistle you have. But I'm going to cover right now because this is the primary hole that people have grief with, is number 6. So I'm going to make sure that's aligned again. Alrighty, let's try it out. So here we are. I'm going to walk down. Boy, that messed with my head putting my fingers on. let's see. Yeah. Make sure. Yeah, that works. A couple of immediate thoughts. The felt feels less supple, so I probably need it. It probably needs to get some playing moisture in it. Um, Also, when you look at like a woodwind keypad, it's normally a little thicker and softer. I've not talked to John about that. I've never spoken to John. I need to do that. So I'm wondering if it wouldn't do well to have that a hair thicker. But it works really well. So I'm not complaining. I'm wondering out loud. What I'm going to do is, because I think this is dead clever. It's pretty brilliant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use it for a week or two. I'm going to do some testing of it to see how it performs over time, and I'll make a follow-up video to let you know because it's really interesting. Now, let me do, oh, look at that. Okay, so one thing I learned, your fingers should be closer to the top. Go close my fingers are together. When I was talking about it not covering well, that may have been on me. You see, I had my finger a little further down, and so I was pushing harder. But when I put my finger, I told you I'm just getting used to it. When I put my finger closer to the top, look how close my fingers are together. It was much easier to use. I can do a trill. That's pretty clever. John, you're brilliant. I love it. I'm going to play with it for a while. I'll get back to you in a week or two. So in the meantime, before I tell you where to pick one up, in the meantime, please, many of you, at least some of you, have experience with this added key from Takahe Flutes. John, I don't know why somebody hadn't thought of it before, but thank you for thinking of it. I think this is really clever, but I need you all who have one to please let us know. This is my first impression. I'm going to experiment with a couple of different things because I'm still wondering if that pad should be a hair thicker, but having my finger closer to the top makes that a lot easier. But did you also notice I could slide on that D? That's great. So, comments, please, please, please. So, let me let you know where you could pick one up. And also, I want to show you how John shipped it to me. Really nice. You know I like good packaging. So, I'll put a link in the notes to this video, as I said, to John's website and to his store. He sells things through Etsy. And the snap-on key is $19. Shipping was $17. Excuse me. Bear in mind, John is in New Zealand. He's in Auckland, I think. And so it's going to take a little while for things to get to you. I think it took 5-6 weeks to come to me. But if this is something you really want and really need, then you're going to be patient and you're going to be happy to order that. Maybe we should talk John into, if anybody knows John, we'll have to talk him into getting somebody to make these in England and somebody else to make them in the United States, and then like a franchise or something. If everybody loves them, why not, right? So let me show you how John shipped this to me. I'm going to build it up. So he had bubble wrap. I just lost one of the pieces. Bubble wrap, and he wrapped the snap-on key in that, like a number of layers of bubble wrap. It was then firmly fit into a toilet paper roll, which was then beautifully packed into a shipping tube. That is a lot of effort to protect my $19 snap-on key. John, thank you for that. I think that was really kind because it's important to ship things well. Anyway, check out John's site. Check out his other work. If you have one of these, please comment. And I think it's a dead clever solution. And and you might want to order one. But read some comments from some of our friends who've owned them longer. Again, one last time, I'm going to cycle test this by playing it for a couple of weeks, and then I'll get back to you with a follow-up. Until next time, my friends, this is Scott Shade. Happy low whistling.